Hi, Hardline audience. I'm here with Maxi, the director of MORIR La Matinée. Where are you calling from today?
Hello, right here from Uruguay, from Montevideo. I'm in my apartment. I'm Maxi. I'm the director of MORIR La Matinée, which in English was translated to Red Screening.
That makes a lot of sense.
Thanks. Yeah. Well, I'm here to answer questions about the movie.
Yeah. So your movie is set in a Montevideo movie theater, one of these old big movie theaters. Is this one still in business, or was it just brought back to life for the film?
Well, the inspiration for the movie came from this particular movie theater, which is called the 18 de Julio, Cine 18 de Julio, 18th of July Cinema, which is on the street 18th of July, which is the main street of Montevideo's center. Mm-hmm. And it went out of business as a commercial theater a long time ago, and then was taken for the Cinematheque, Uruguayan Cinematheque, as one of their theaters for a very long time. La Cinemateca, that organization, and it kept being a theater till 2018. And we were going to shoot there, and the inspiration came because I shot a commercial a long time ago there, and I saw it, and I was like, this place, it's amazing as a location for a horror movie. I thought this is, and I had my particular experiences as a kid going there when I was very, very young, and when the movies were screened there, the theater was dark, so it was kind of scary. The experience was different. Now we have the lights and the exit lights. Everything is lighted up, and it's you don't have the guy with the
flashlight
guy with the flashlight guiding you. Well, and what happened was this: the Cinemateca left the theater to a new home, to new theaters, and we were left with the opportunity when they left to have it as the location. And right now it's gone. It's not gone yet, but it's not a theater anymore. But there were two locations we used. We didn't use one location. It was the interiors were the theater, but the exterior is another theater, which it actually still is a movie theater, and still, I mean, I'm talking about on the streets, the ticket sales, stairs, the gallery, and all that still is a theater. Still looks like in the 90s, and we shot there part of the movie, and they were still open when we were shooting, so we had night shoots because we had to wait till the people left the theater, and they were screening like The Lion King, the new one, and we warned the people not to call the police when they were leaving because they saw blood or anything. we had to wait till the theater was available for shooting during the night.
Yeah. You have a horror film within your horror film. Is this a real film, or was it something that you produced for your film?
The original idea was, on the original script, was to have a movie made. We were going to it was going to be like a giallo, like Italian horror, and it was written, and it was the idea was to shoot it and to make it like it was a real film. but we didn't have the budget. We didn't have enough budget to do it. To do that too, it will. And I wanted to actually. I wanted the experience to make like 2 films, but we when we started shooting, we didn't have this movie made, and we came with the idea in production, and I changed the script and everything to try to find like a movie we could get the rights and get the about 5 or 6 minutes, 8 minutes of the movie to join it. We thought, why not trying to get a movie from that period, an actual horror movie, and we did that. We actually tried to make a co-production with Italy to make the one in the script. We didn't manage to do that. And then we started searching for Italian horror films that we can get the rights for a short time time for the movie. And we did that for a while. When we were on post-production, we searched for some Dario Argento movies and others, and we talked with distributors. We almost got there many times. We were doing the negotiations, and that didn't work out. And then the pandemic started, and Italy was closed up. So we almost lost communications and everything. What happened was we have I'm gonna going maybe in the round of spoilers, I guess not, but the killer, the antagonist, it's the actor who is playing it. It's a film director. He's a popular film director here in Uruguay. Well, it's a cult director of horror movies in Uruguay. He was the pioneer. He started very young in the 80s when nobody was doing movies, especially horror movies. He did a whole filmography of movies made with no money on video in the 90s. It's called Ricardo. And when we started having these issues with the rights to get the movie or to shoot the movie we wanted, and the giallo and everything, he was extremely sweet with the production and with me from the beginning. When I proposed him to play this character, and he said, my whole filmography is available to you, don't worry. And I knew I had some movies that could work out, but I didn't want to do it. I wanted to do right for the script, for the original script first. So I continued trying to get the other thing until I decided, well, this movie of Ricardo could work. And I didn't want to do it because the one that worked had an anachronism with the film, which I have a few in the film. There's some posters that are movies not from the 90s. And this movie he made, the Frankenstein movie, it's an actual film. He made it in 2010, 2011. Okay. But it looks like a Hammer movie. It looks like a Hammer picture from the 80s or 70s or something like that. It's very classical. So with the editor, with Santiago Bednarik, we worked on all these versions. So we have a version with an Argento movie. We had a version with another giallo called Witchery. We had with Linda Blair. We had tons of them, and so we worked a version with Frankenstein from Ricardo Islas, and it worked. And he said, "It's all good," and I loved it. And I think I had another subtext working on there with the killer, and the movie is directed by the killer. So that's the long story about it.
You mentioned the killer, and he has a special taste for eyeballs. And I was wondering, what did you make these eyeballs from so that you can eat them?
Right. That's funny. Yeah. Well, first of all, the idea of the eye eater, like I named him, wasn't original from the script. I proposed this. I had the idea for the movie, and I proposed a colleague friend of mine, Manuel Facal, the script. But the idea was he was a collector. He wasn't an eater or something like that. And I came up with that late in production when I did some script changes and revisions, especially with the production and the costs and everything. And so that came out like, why not push it a little bit more? Why not have something else happening here? And about how they were made, they were like a lot of tons of different kinds of eyeballs in the movie. Ones that worked for bouncing, ones that worked for I don't know, like having a good look, and the one to eat was tomato cherry, covered with the sugar thing, white sugar frosting.
Yeah,
it was delicious. He said once we were doing the shots, he wanted more, so he wanted because they were good. It was just like a sweet tomato, little one.
Okay. You said your movies in the early 90s. Why did you choose this particular area of time? Yeah.
Well, that came because of I guess it was a way of traveling back to my childhood and going back to the moment I fell in love with movies, decided that I wanted to make movies. That's one part of it, and the other part was when we started thinking about this idea. We wanted to make this like a movie about people getting locked up and people getting locked up in a theater and all of those things, and few people in a big theater, and the inspiration of the movie was the theater. So it had to be in a time where this could be plausible. So yeah, at this moment that story won't work with cell phones and everything. That's one thing. The other thing was I guess the inspiration was the theater, and the typical point of those the ones on the center of the city, those theaters before the multiplexes, because the multiplexes started late 90s, was that period. That was the last time of those theaters, and the last popular time. And yeah, I guess that was it. And also the theme of the movie for me was the end of the innocence, in a way, the end of innocence. That kind of, it's related with the character of the kid, and also this idea that every past time was a little bit more innocent than today. Of course, after we had this pandemic, we lost some more innocence. we are less innocent in a way, but in that time we were more innocent. We didn't like. I'm thinking like you will never think of something like this happening in a theater in Uruguay in that time. You were okay with going to a big theater, paying a ticket, and nothing like this you will think that could be possible, like getting a killer here and doing this massacre and everything and locking people up. But it was plausible in that time. Could happen.
Yeah. You have all these nice kind of prototypical characters in your film. So we have like the guy who really wants to see the movie, but his girlfriend doesn't. And then you have the kid that's hiding to see a horror film, and the teenage nerds who just want to watch whatever films. Are these all things that you can personally relate to, or did you just want to have these kind of characters for your movie?
That was these archetypes and everything. I think it was relatable to the inspiration of doing a slasher. Like mm-hmm. let's have these archetypal characters that have a lot of people from different parts of the audience that is this movie presented to can relate to one or to the other. And also, it's a kill count. So it's also like, well, yeah, some are not that likable. Some are. So I guess, yeah, we also had this idea of mixing up a little bit of humor in there. It's always like, for me, it was more connected to horror adventure and horror action mm-hmm. than to just horror in that sort of way. It has gore and everything, but it's still just like a ride, right? Like a roller coaster horror ride. So I guess those archetypal characters are just to make it a little more iconic and fun. I don't know. I guess that's it. Once we were progressing, I fell in love with some characters, and I changed a few things of them, but because especially once the main ensemble happens in the movie, which are the kid and the teenager Angela and the main character Anna, the projectionist, mm-hmm. the projectionist daughter. Mm-hmm. And I like that thing, and the movie takes a more cat and mouse chase feel and like a real time thing. It's all supposedly in a real time with the movie projected mm-hmm. and everything. But once that happens, once they are left trying to save themselves, I think it takes a different approach, a more realistic approach or something like that. So yeah, before that, the characters are meant to be a little more archetypal and fun, I guess.
Yeah. So you've been to Germany once. You were at the Berlinale Talent Campus.
Yeah.
Is there anything you about Germany?
Germany, and arriving to Berlin was the first time I got to Europe. I arrived, I remember getting out of the subway to my hostel, and it was snowing, and it just felt like I arrived to a future city. I loved it. I really loved it. I had that impression, and I had lots of good memories of that Berlinale. It was 2003 or 4? 16 years ago. Yeah, 2004. And I remember going to workshops and stuff like that. And I had like a small short film, the 1 minute short film. You had to present one work to get selected and everything. And so, yeah, I was 19. So I just loved it. It was the first time I tried like spicy food and currywurst, of course, and all that. And it was because we don't have much. Now we have, but we didn't have much spicy food here. We are more like mild. More Italian and Spanish kind of, cuisine. So it was very spicy the first time. And I remember meeting Stephen Fierz, the director in a workshop. And well, who else? It was there. Andrew Lesney. I mean, there were many. So Walter Murch, that was very nice. The editor and Walter Murch. There was a lot of things. I really loved it. I guess, yeah. Anthony Miguel, remember? But yeah, there was. It was Jack Nicholson was there too. Yeah, I remember that. It was fun. And I remember. Oh, something else I remember is seeing weird movies too. I remember seeing a movie called Running on Karma. Japanese or something. I don't know if it was Japanese or Korean. It was so weird, so bizarre. They had a lot of sections, and people were cinephiles for real. We have cinephiles here, but in Germany, people were fighting for tickets. And I love that. I remember a grandma who was like, I wasn't sure to get in this in one screening I had a pass, had like the best pass ever. Like I can get anywhere because the talent campus was very generous. And I remember this granny saying, "Are you going to? Can you give me the ticket if you're not getting there in the line?" Okay, yeah, sure. Like, yeah, I loved it.
Okay, so I'm afraid our time is already up. Yeah. Thank you so much for bringing this wonderful film to our festival, especially this year, like this love story for movie theaters. And I'm pretty sure that all the people who are forced to watch this year outside of the movie theater will very much appreciate this. So do you have any final words for our audience, maybe?
Well, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the movie. And they enjoyed it as much as I enjoy shooting the film, and especially have fun with the horror and the adventure. Especially, just well, I guess your audience is prepared. This audience is prepared for it.
Yeah,
and I will be there. Of course, I'll be there as soon as I can and visit you. And yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Bye-bye.
Well.